Guys, let me just start because it's seemingly we're not going to wait for the others. Definitely because the way we are doing it is very good. Immediately after the session, we try and edit the video, and then we always share with you. And so that whoever is not able to get things, you can always go back and find out. Remember, what is good about technology is the individualized, personalized learning. And that's why whenever you miss out, you will always catch up. And you can watch it at your own pace, at your own time. That is a good thing about technology. Unlike a live or a face-to-face session where you have to go with the speed of the teacher. If the teacher leaves you, then you are left out. And you will be always crying and saying, now this, what can I do? But now with the technology, you are well catered for. Thank you so much. Good morning, guys. And we are going to start straight away this session today. We've been waiting for people. Not that they have been late. I've seen almost 200 guys on board, and that is quite encouraging. I really love their dedication, and I can see the kind of sacrifice people you're making. Because from your side, nobody's even giving you the data. From our side, we are also struggling and making sure we do this. We are not charging anybody and nobody's paying anybody. We said, what can we do for each other as teachers? How do we show that we care? Some of these things we miss out just not because we don't have the opportunity or not because we can't do it, not because we are not having the ability, but because nobody thought to share with us those amazing skills that are needed in the 21st century. And it is very, very bad. Yesterday, I had an opportunity of presenting in one of the international space, that is at Adobe Global Summit, and it was amazing. And basically, what came out very clear was that there's a lot of need for skills, and young people are every other time they're looking for these skills. Colleges are not doing it. Like the teacher training colleges, which we're having now, they may not be doing this particular kind of thing we are talking about. So think about always thinking what kind of skills can you be able to give the learners. And it was such a very, very eye-opening session, and I'm very happy that it came out so well, because the idea was, how do we prepare the next generation for the future? That was the idea, and we were thinking about this Generation Z. We were talking about Generation Z, and when we talk about Generation Z, the kind of people we are targeting is not the millennials. Remember, you are not going. I know some people still talk about millennials, but you know millennials. Millennials, that generation, we had passed it long time ago. I think right now we are headed to Generation Alpha, because Generation Z is the one that is now probably in class 6, 7, 8, all the way up to Form 4, maybe the early years of college. That is Generation Z, because millennials are already in the workplace. So the ones whom we are dealing with are Generation Z. And this Generation Z, they value creativity. And that's why it is so boring just to give them, I think, I don't know, even when you talk about having TV as, or radio lessons, I don't know whether it is working for some of you. You can share with us your experiences, because this generation don't want even to watch the TV, because TV is boring. They want to be very engaged. They want people to be creative. They want teachers to keep teachers on their toes. So if you are a teacher of the last year, then you are really missing out. And that's why as many as the learners I interview, they tell me that Mwalimu, home is boring. And then we ask them, do you want to go back to school? And say, no, school is equally very, very boring. So what is really the problem? The problem is the learners are not being engaged. The teachers in school are not able to engage this generation. The parents in school, at home, are also not able to engage them. The more they are giving them probably stuff or things like TV is not engaging because TV has predictable program, while internet is more engaging because internet gives varieties, and that is what they are really looking for. Varieties. Okay, great. And maybe let me share with you the generation. Maybe it's good time to learn. Don't worry, we are just getting to our topic. I just wanted to really share with you some amazing things. Look at this thing. The ones I'm talking about, the baby boomers, we know them, X. Y are the millennials who are gone. The Z are the ones, sorry for the language. I needed to make this into whatever, the Z are the ones born 1997 to 2009. Then 2010 onward, these ones are the alpha. And I think this one now in primary. And basically the young ones, not really 2010, I think maybe even the late, very late. The alpha are the ones, the lower classes, the kindergarten, the rest, them they are in a different category. And guys, it is very hard. I know most of the teachers are either generation X or Y, and you can't deal with as an alpha or a Z if you are not prepared to teach them. If you are not in their level, you are not going to make this thing get out. So I believe we are going to do something good out of this situation once we learn all this, because the students are tired. Everybody else is tired of the same way that we've been teaching. Great. I think maybe that is not bad enough. And as I said, soft skill and today's workforce. Every other person is thinking about what is really happening outside there, and the reason why young people are coming out of school without the real good maybe skill is because everybody else do not know what is really needed. Even the teachers are not well prepared for this future. So you'll find teachers only advising students to take the big five careers. They don't know other careers which are really available outside there. But again, look at the soft skills that many organizations, the future is looking for: communication, creativity, collaboration, creative problem solving, and critical thinking. So when you are making your lesson, look at it in terms of what can we be able to do alongside that. Maybe I'll just continue and get you. So yesterday I had an opportunity to present in this amazing space, and I gave a lot of opportunity. I even demonstrated in this Adobe conference. Adobe conference comes yearly, and my presentation was basically about creating 3D character in Adobe Fuse and Photoshop, because there's something people don't know, that you can create a 3D character, create them, give them all the spaces, and even animate them, make them run and do stuff like that. All this we will teach you with time, because I want teachers to learn how to create their own characters, because you may want to use them in a simulation and animation so that you animate them and even do anything you want with them, like even posing them, the way you make them even sit down. So this was just part of my presentation, and it won in the global award because people didn't see that. So we can even use creative things in the classroom, and how teachers can use certain of these things and make them available and help learners to engage. We want to engage this generation. Our biggest worry, my biggest worry has always been, how do we engage the generation Alpha, the generation Z, or else we lose them because learning is no longer interesting. Great. Let me just go back to what we were talking about. Probably right. So so let me get your comment as they're coming in. And we want to do today, the session will be a bit different because I want you now to start engaging, and I'll be going through the questions, because already I've seen so many questions, and so many guys are really giving a lot of stuff here. So As I say kindly, today we want to talk about Google Classroom. Remember, when we're talking about learning management system or platforms, I'm using the word system and platform at the same time because I think the correct word should be platform. Because when I talk about platform or tools, then I am even bringing in all this because there are people who argue that Google Classroom is not a system. It may not really qualify. It doesn't meet the threshold. And then there are others who claim it is still, it should be taken in. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. All this we are just saying for a teacher, we don't want to care whether it's a tool or a system or a platform, as long as it can help you get to the learner and help the learner. This is the approach we are looking at it. And we don't want to dwell so much on terms and terminologies and starting to evaluate whether the system is really a classroom management or whatever it is, or learning management, all that. But we want to see a tool that really can meet some little bit level of at least the minimum levels of a learning management system. And Google Classroom really does that. It really does that. And then we talked about others. Remember when we were leaving, guys were already giving us suggestions. Like I remember a friend said, "Why don't you use Neo?" I use Neo in my school, and Neo, which is basically learning management systems. So you find and I've said, let me confirm again, guys, we have quite a lot of so many learning management systems around the world, and these learning management systems, they all depend on as I said, the features, what you want it to do. There are those ones which are for schools. This is the Neo, which is for school, yes, but it has the element of pricing. So the moment it has something to do with price, of course, it means you have to buy it. Then it means, and in most cases nowadays, the most pricing we are looking at is mostly, you'll find it's about subscription model. You see there's a plan, free plan. Yes, there's a free plan. And when it is coming as a free plan, you can see some of the limitations that it has. And then when it comes as premium, you will see also some of the advantages that it has. For example, as premium, it comes with SCOM, LTI, and probably Turnitin. You see something like Turnitin. You see this feature, you may really have a learning management system like this in your institution. Yes, it gives you an ability to start gamification, or maybe let me just put this a bit big now that we are talking. I was talking about this learning management system. Look at some of the features of free. When you talk about the free version of this LMS, you'll find the free version has the following features: large sets of elements features, yes; beautiful dashboards, yes; graphical class catalog, yes; looks great on any device, perfect, good; gamification, automation, competency-based learning. Remember, competency-based learning, those who want to do this, it is very important you use the learning management system because all that will be done. Then we have graph integration, much more integration. But then look at I want you to see the quality. If you don't know the features of LMS, you will just go with all these features we are being given here and you feel comfortable with them. But when you're moving on towards a more specialized, you want to become a very serious person, then a serious teacher who wants to use online tools, you'd want also to have your fingers on some of these. Customizable portal, the URL. You see now you can't really have your own URL. You have to get to Neo, and then ad hoc reporting, adaptive learning. You can create learning path, SICS integration, then there's SCOM. SCOM is shareable content object module, so that you can just create content in a different content creation tools like Lectora, like Adobe Captivate, all those content creation tools. You create a full course there, then you just bring it. and it is compliant. These are some of the things which is missing in the free version, and that will limit you as a teacher. You may not reach this level, which is which is very important. We have Turn It In. Turn It In is a feature when you give students work, like an essay, to go and work on it, and then they give it to you. When you use this feature of Turn It In is able to look through the work of the student and ensure they have not copied. If they have copied, Turn It In will reject. If they have even copy-pasted from the website, from internet, without putting their own effort of creating their own content, Turn It In will reject that assignment when the students are turning their assignment in. You see, this feature is very important, especially for us teachers who are teaching essays. You'll find you give students some essays to work on, and then they think because of internet we cannot be able to get their work. So they go around, they do the work, and then they share with students, maybe through their WhatsApp, and then they copy and then they turn it in. So when they bring it to you, you are able to use that feature to detect that there is element of copying. If it gets almost 80% of resemblance in work or similarity in work of the student, definitely it knocks that one and flags it. That is already a bad one. Or if it checks how the students have been copy pasting. You know, there are these students, you give them work, tell us about the history of Kenya. They go online, and it's not only students, even teachers, they're given college assignment. That's exactly what they do. They go online, they copy paste, they write a type paper, they submit. But this Turn It In feature will reject such papers, so that you see, you want to make students to become very authentic. You don't want them to, we want them to learn, to become honest. And then we have web conferencing integration. You see, sometimes we want to do that. Organizations and teams, even using Microsoft Teams, you can integrate in the premium. So you see, as much as we have this, any learning management system that has got an option for paying or for a price, look at it again before you take it in school. If you are comfortable with these features in your school, then just go with the free plan. That's one thing we want to talk about. But if you want now a real serious learning to take place, where you're even monitoring students, whether they are really giving a very bad whatever, they are not giving quality feedback, and LTI or probably tin format, all these ones, if you want them, you want to get it in a premium version. And that's why we usually say Moodle stands out. Because the reason why Moodle stands out, it's because with Moodle now, you can imagine all these things are there, and it's totally open source and it's free. The only technicality in Moodle now becomes in the hosting. Where do you host the Moodle? You can host it in your space, and then the technical bit is just the deployment. It's not even hosting. The deployment of the Moodle at the beginning, at the initial stages, the deployment of the Moodle is when things become a bit tough. But after that, working with it is one of the best. But if you have enough money, you just buy. If you buy this, most of the hosting, most of the work will be done to you in the cloud easily, very nicely. Moodle also has got a cloud component, and you can always subscribe to that. Great. I think maybe that was good enough to just go through. We have so many, by the way, so many. I want to just add to you that we have so many learning management systems. But all in all, you can check whether is it priced or it's free. And if it's free, what are you missing if you go for free? What are you really missing? And when you go for a priced one, what are you really missing? So again, now let us look at Google Classroom. For you to get Google Classroom as a learning platform, remember we picked these platforms because when we are listening, we are seeing people trying to use them. I've seen like Longhorn trying to use Google Classroom. There are schools which are using Google Classroom. There are also others using different tools. So I want to talk about them so that you see it's better. I don't need to really talk about a tool which is not in the market or a tool which people are not using. So that if you feel comfortable using them, kindly go ahead. Ours to support you. So for you to go to Google Classroom, You just go to classroom.google.com. And in the Google Classroom, and remember, I want to say something. If you are a school, Google Classroom and in fact Google Suite is free. It is a free, you're given free for a school. You get it for free. If you want to get it for free for your school, kindly just link up with me and I will be able to connect you with the Google team so that they give your school a free Google Suite. Because when the suite, it comes with almost, I think it comes with so many apps, and I will be showing you mine just maybe shortly, so that at least you know what we're talking about when we talk about Google Suite, G Suite, or we saw it G Suite, something like that. So once you get in, remember you can as well log in as a teacher or a student. Once you are in, you have the option of, you can see, you'll always see, let me get my pointer. You'll always see this part, this plus button here. This one shows that you have an option of either joining a class. If you are a student, if you join in as a student, you'll only have an option of joining your first class, your class. But if you are as a teacher, you'll get an option of either joining or creating a class. And it is important, guys. If you get a suite for the school, then the school does everything, joins all the students, brings all the database of the student and integrates with the G Suite. So your work as a teacher is just to go ahead, pick your subject and go straight to what you want. But at this particular level, I'm imagining you are at home. The school didn't make such an arrangement. You have a class, you are communicating with them through WhatsApp. Now I want to move you from WhatsApp to a better tool. That is why we took up this. And that's why we are looking at it as a teacher for perspective. Therefore, as a teacher, you can just create a class for now and add those students who are already on your social media platform. You now bring them on board and start working with them. Guys, the main motivation behind what we are doing here is to ensure that kids are supported. Guys, help these learners. We are also going to create a platform, but we are also enabling you so that you also you can go ahead and start and help learners wherever they are, because we may not be able to do that. Number two, I think once you've created a class, you'll get a class code. Remember the idea of code, which we learned in Edmodo last time, is still also here. You'll get a code. This is the code you send to students to join your class. So unlike Edmodo, where email may not be a requirement, here the email address may be a requirement because Google wants people to have Gmail account. And Gmail account does not necessarily, it doesn't have to end with @gmail.com. It can be even your organization and then it ends. Remember when you are creating YouTube channels, remember I was using even organizational, whatever, it is called what? Email addresses, and it was working. Now let me take you online. Let us try and do it practically. And I want to ask that you do something. I want you to join once we create. So where did we say we go to? We go to classroom.google.com. Remember, you can use any browser. And I think maybe you know the difference between browser and all this. I think that's a bit, but then you have to learn. Like now I'm using a browser called Brave. I know you are only told about a browser called, maybe you are told about a browser called maybe Google Chrome or Edge or maybe Firefox. But me, I use almost tons, even 100, as long as they can serve me. The best thing is you ensure you are safe. Great. So this is the problem here, because I had already signed into Google. Now it signs me straight to Google Classroom because I had signed into YouTube. Remember last time when we created, if you have created a YouTube account, then when you go to Google Classroom, it will take you automatically, because you see with Google account, you sign one, we say one sign. you sign in one, and then every other app you are able to access. So let me just continue. If you go, of course, they will, I think they have my details, of which most of the, I remember showing you that you have to come to this space. Then you can try with other things. Again, you have seen, you will always get here. And that is when you have registered, because I want to ask you. But if you already have a Google account, of which I know everybody, almost 80% of the people attending, they have a Gmail account. The moment you just click classroom.google.com, you will just go straight, they will give you such a space. And that's what I want you to do. Just go straight ahead and you can be able to do. And as I said, look at the corner, create or join your first class. You'll find that. For a teacher, you'll find this, create. If you are joining in as a student, you'll find only join your first class, okay? And for you to join in as a student, you have to log out so that you now go to a fresh. I don't know whether I have any. Let me just get another browser, probably that does not have my details, so that we pick. So again, I say classroom.google.com. I hope this one does not have my. This one also has. Okay, I will be able to run maybe on Firefox. Let me try if at all. Here they have my details. So again, classroom.google.com. Just to see if at all we can start from the scratch, because this one has nothing. Good. This one is purely pure. Okay. Classroom.google.com. This one comes. It's asking make teaching more nice and all this. You can see that. So where are the products? So the product G Suite. What I'm talking about is called G Suite for Education, and it's free. You can always get G Suite for Education, and it is free. Or you can go straight to Classroom. But remember, the product I'm talking about is G Suite for Education. So if I go to Classroom, which is open, now I'm asked to choose an account. Maybe I don't have an account. So I say, I just use another account. And do I have an account? Probably, let me just see if at all I can do Mac at, I don't have probably an account. So Mac at, do you have an account? It's saying I have an account. Or because of the YouTube channel that I had last time. Okay, good. Right, no problem. If it is, because that's the scenario where everybody is, because this is what you'll be having, even on your side. Definitely that is what you'll be having. So box at 600. I thought I could do I could use one that does not have an account. But again, the same thing happens. It takes you that you're already having an account in Google Classroom. Again, the same thing. Let us just stick to this and go with it. So when you click on the classroom, and let me again zoom this. That is not zooming, surely. Zoom in. So when you click on this, you have the join or create classroom. Join or create classroom. For a teacher, you can create. If it's a student, you will be having join. And therefore, you'll be asked class code. You have to give a class code. And ask your teacher for the class code, then enter it here. So remember, you can join a class as a student. You can also join another class as a teacher. Why? Because as a teacher, you want to co-teach. Okay, you want to co-teach with the other teacher. So you can try that. I'm very sure students may not be having this. So let us create a class, which is more important. Create a class, then you can read all this. And then of course you have to agree to the terms because they want you to use it for education. It is free. You don't have to pay anything for the school. We are trying to do as much as possible to ensure that I take you through tools which are free. We don't want a situation that you'll go back to school and you start giving budget to the head teacher because they are really scared of budget sometimes. But even for you, not really to the schools need to buy. But I'm just imagining that you want to reach out to students, and in a way, the students are, you don't know what to do. You don't have money. Just go online and download these things. You don't need to download, just go to the browser and you'll be able to. Now I've just created the class. So I'm creating the class. It is already done. So we have a class. Wow, Form 1. What's new in the classroom? I got it. These are just things. So this is how Google Classroom looks like. Guys, I tried this with you guys last time. I tried with some of you Google Classroom, and some of you, I just decided to give you an invite to the Google Classroom. And then the way you really came in is what made me just say, no. I just have to help some of you, because the way we started was a bit off. It may not really lead to proper learning. It was not going to lead to proper learning. So we decided just to go back and then at least to teach you the way you see now. I'm really doing this here. Great. So when you come to the Google Classroom, this is what we have here. You have 4 sections. Look, stream, classwork, people, and grades. Stream, classwork, people, and grade. And you see, as usual, Google has got more apps. And look at the apps, the account, business. And if you look through, because I've not taken Google G Suite, what I have here is called Hangout, rather than G Suite. Let me just have, because I want to give you now a G Suite for a school. If you are to take it as a school, how would it look like? Can it look anyway different? Let me just get you, I'm getting you this so that at least you get it. So when you have a G Suite, this one is not there. Great, I think. I'm trying to log into the other one. I think the G Suite, our G Suite account is not coming through, but I can use a different one. Again, like, yeah, so I don't know whether I can really be able to log out in this and get into another one. I'll be checking on that very shortly. Or maybe, yeah, maybe I can use, yeah, maybe I can use this. Let me try this and see whether it has a G Suite account, because some of them have G Suite accounts. So that I want you just to see the difference between G Suite and just a normal a normal account. When you have a G Suite, the difference will be in the kind of apps you are. Even this one is not a G Suite account. Instead of Hangout, you'll find what we are calling Google Meet instead of Hangout. Hangout is almost being phased out, but Meet is the one that is going to replace. They are different, whatever, for the classroom. Great. Let me just continue. I think that's a very simple thing that we can be able to get. Sorry for that, for taking you around. So we have a stream. In the stream, this is where you get all the communication. Say something, share something with your class. Hi, guys. Where did I? Yeah, share something here. Greet them. Hi, my guys. Let us learn. Okay. Now I want you to do this, guys. What I want you to do, take your time. I want you to join this classroom. And this is the code for the classroom. This is the code. I'm going to copy it to the chat section. I'm going to copy it to the chat section. There are so many. They say they want it. Let me copy it to the chat session, and then if you're able to see it, kindly go to Google Classroom and join. Can you go and join? I want to see you now coming into the classroom. There. So as I'm going through the questions, kindly, I want you to try and join the classroom using that that code. Join our classroom. Everything is numbers. There's only one number, and that is 3. So the rest are small letters. X, D, Y, K, O, E, and then 3. So kindly let us join this classroom so that we see. We want it to be as engaging as possible. How to access cheaper data hampers our attendance to this great session. No problem, Robert. We don't know, but we will be struggling if God wishes. I wish people, somebody outside there should be seeing what we are doing, and they can come in to support us. But I think maybe we will reach out to the vendors, to the suppliers, and see what they can do. Those true teachers, heroes, yes, correct. Hello, send regards to all Bacon teachers on board. Christine from Nairobi, Sarah from Mombasa. Wow. Every time I join as a guest, I will be counted, Queen. Yes, you'll be counted because soon we are starting, we want you to start creating your content online, like from today. Once we get through this, because after this, I'm taking you to the next available tool. Then from there, we want you to start creating your content. And it is the only graduation from this is we want to see when you are able to create a full online lesson that you can be able to send to learners. Once you can show us your work, then we get to your certificate, because that one shows you've been with us. I think it's more of competency based than just saying I came. And you know, it's like classes where students are attending while learning is not taking place. Good work keeping up. I am more informed and practical. Go for it. Anita from Eldoret, here we are with you. Welcome. Did you have a talk on this before? This is the first one, Alice. Maybe what we heard, Alice, was that we had talked about learning management system. This is part 2, and we were talking about the features of learning management systems. We were just addressing some of the questions, the upcoming things. So what can you be able to do? So that's what we are doing. We have gotten the first session. We can send you the link. I think we have shared the link with everybody through the various platforms, and we can still share with you, Alice, so that you get it. This is just the second session, and this time we are talking about Google Classroom. I'm seeing people are leaving so that they are able to join. Let me see the people who have managed to join. Barry Lamondi, welcome. I've just joined. Hey. Keep on, let us see how many people are in the class. Wow. You can see guys who have already joined the class. Hello, teacher, I'm in Eldoret. Hi, Valentin from Nairobi. Anita Roti, David. I've joined from Kisumu. You see, people are here, guys. So students are already joining. So if you have joined as a teacher, you can see how it looks like as a teacher. If you join as a student, you want us to see your class. You don't need to create a class, Isaac. We want you to join this class. Kindly join this. Join this class of ours. And this is the code. You just go to google.classroom, classroom.google.com, and then you join. When you join, you see we are going to see you here. So the next thing I want to do an assignment and then send to you, and then you submit. And I want to show you how we can mark that assignment together, because that's the next thing we want to show here. Let me keep reading more questions. How can we use it at Akon? You can use it, Isaac, because any learning management system, you can use it. And at Akon, because you have learners who are basically adult dependent, then the adult will always be able to support the learning from far away. So we will be showing you how you can use it. As long as you're a teacher, Isaac, you can be able to get all this done. Great. Christine, thank you for it. You like the practicality in this. That is what we want you to do. Because at the end of the day, if you don't get something on board, then it is not fair for us to say we taught. Let's have the full screen. If you can get that code, just 2 minutes. It is not a must all of us have to join. If you're having trouble with the internet, kindly don't just bother. We will be able to support you. Right? Great. So let me get to the classroom. At least so many people have joined. Right. And they have managed to send something. They are talking here. Okay, good. So don't worry, I'll be taking you to the next session, guys. Guys are already writing stuff, and you can see there are so many people here. Wow. I am Martin from Kajiado. Welcome, Martin. Christine, I'm in Nairobi, Ratemo. Sarah, I am Sarah Abdallah from Tuapa in Coast. Wow. All the way. Benjamin from Baringo is here. Martin joined as a student. Welcome, Martin. Now, if you join as a student, Martin, now you can see how students will be able to get it. And that's what we want you to at least also experience, so that when you're giving out this thing, you know, when you are outside there and a student is calling or a parent is calling, anasema hii kitu mwalimu inafanywa aje? Hata sijaona hiyo assignment umetuma. I've not seen the assignment. How can we really do it, you know? I'll be able to help. I'm in Google Classroom, but all I see are my initially created classroom. Okay, fine. Join ours, Christine. Christine, if you are inside, then join this classroom. Use the code to join the classroom. Join our classroom, Christine. If you join this classroom, then you'll be able to see all of us, because we'll be all in the same room. There are people who have already created Google Classroom in the past, and they want to now try. Join this classroom, Christine. If you join this classroom, then we'll want to see, and you can see so many people. I've just created this classroom right now, and many people, some people have joined as students, some have joined as teachers. Now I want to show you how do you create an assignment for this. Stop, those people who are struggling now, I say stop joining, because you have already joined. But you are still, whenever somebody writes something, they say stream was updated. Now that is a section of stream. You can see in this section of the stream, you will always see what people. Ambuka from Mombasa. I'm finally in. Yes, Christine, you see you're finally in because you're using the code, so that you can be able to know, even if you can create as many classrooms as possible. You can create a classroom for maths, another one for geography, another one for history. But then you send those links to the parents to join, and the student will be able to join all those classes based on the link. Many people are writing, guys, and I think this is awesome. Now stop. Let me see who is with us in the room. We can always bring Maxwell. You seems to be in. Can you say something? Edward, you're also muting yourself. Why don't you say something? Berlin, it seems to be available, but you didn't manage to get in. Okay, no problem. All these people are inside. They were supposed to be part of this, because they are the ones who should be teaching us about how to present the Google Classroom and stuff like that. They have their sections to work on, but apparently they have muted themselves. Either they are enjoying the lesson, or probably have taken them very fast. So let us just continue. We want to run because time is not on our side, and I want to clear this thing. Now let us see. We have seen the stream. There's this part we are calling the stream. I hope you can see this section. I'm really very focused on this. I want you to look keenly. We have stream. When you are at the stream tab, that is where all the communications, when students communicate with you. Remember, we said one of the features of a learning management platform, there must be a very good improved communication This is where you're going to get students communicating to you. You want to chat with your student, come and chat here. Run away from WhatsApp groups with students. It's not right. It's not very good because you cannot be able to look at it. But here, even chats for next year can go back and look at them. And then there's something you can do with the chat. I want you to see what you can be able to do with the chat. You can delete. If a student has written something bad, like you see this Dorina Ogengo, joined in as a guest. Yes, he said, I've joined in as a guest. This is her comment. Or I am from Nairobi. Yes, no, it says, I am from Nairobi. Yes, he just replied, I think, whatever. What I can do as a teacher, I can reply to Dorina. And I say, welcome, Dorina. Welcome, Dorina, to class. Okay. So you see, welcome, Dorina. Already, when I click that, Dorina will get a response, okay? Because at least we are talking with Dorina. Hey, stream, stop. Guys are just writing. You're now so much excited inside here. Stop, I don't want you to type anything. Just listen. It is amazing.
David, just one comment.
Okay.
Yes, I just wanted to say that, okay, welcome all the teachers. And then in terms of that stream, you can still use the same section to be able to relay your class announcements. You can always put your announcements there so that every student is able to see, and they can even allow them to reply to those announcements. So the stream is very, very important, especially in terms of your class announcements. Thank you.
Thank you, Edward. And remember the announcement, whenever you make an announcement, it always remains at the top so that it is never overridden by other students, or because you can always keep it at the top so that it remains there completely. And unlike WhatsApp, that you will have to look for that conversation forever for you to reach it. But here it's very easy to get there. Then remember we were talking about digital literacy, or rather digital citizenship. How can they become orderly or very disciplined when they are using the online platform? Can you check on the netism? Are they really having netiquette? The cyberbullying, all this, is it happening in your class? You are able to monitor. If you get a student like now, Mwanatumu Mbaruku, he just said, hi, Nita. It is Atiki from Mombasa. I'm there with you. Maybe we don't want this comment from Nita. So what from Atiki? What do? A teacher has got an opportunity. You can move it to the top because it is very important. Maybe it's a discussion and a student has talked something which is very important. You move that to the top so that you leave the other conversation to continue. This you cannot do with WhatsApp, guys. You can't do with any other. You can't move a conversation to the top in WhatsApp. Probably, maybe if it's just a post in Facebook, but again in WhatsApp, it is you. I don't know, maybe you can, maybe you will. If people are good in using WhatsApp, you can tell me. But I believe this is more for learning. Then you can delete that comment before any other student looks at it. Probably a student has made a comment that you don't want to infect other students from getting. You delete it. Unlike WhatsApp, you can't delete. If I'm the one who have made a comment, I'm the one to delete. If you delete as a teacher, you will only delete on your side, but you're not going to delete my comment. But here as a teacher, you have the power to delete the comment of the student so that other students are not able to be affected or rather to be infected by those wrong things or bullying. And if I'm misbehaving, you can mute. You can mute this student. They'll never comment again until such a time that you'll bring them back to the classroom. So you see, you have the power. The power of a teacher is still within you. You can discipline your class. You can make them become accountable to anything they talk about. They just don't make ruthless and useless comments. Remember, it is learning, and therefore learning comments must be as good as the learning situation. I think you can see how these tools, now they qualify to be learning management platform. These are some of the things when I look at, then I consider and say, I think this is good enough because the communication with the student is powerful and teachers can really control that communication. It's not just communication the way it is in WhatsApp and other social media groups, which you cannot be able to control. Now, that is about the stream, guys, and I hope that is amazing. You have learned a lot, some of us. It feels good to be here. Welcome, guys. Great. From Karuri. But Maxwell, I've put you in to tell us something, and you're just listening from outside. Why don't you come inside the room here and say something? You're just outside there. I can't get you, Maxwell. Okay, no problem. Maybe you didn't know how to join. We will help you so that you join as a presenter or not as an attendee. Okay, now let us go to the next section, classwork. How do we get to the classwork? Remember, stream is for communication. Classwork, here in classwork, you have opportunities to do one thing. It is inside classwork that you can now have a class drive folder, okay? Geoffrey is asking a question. Do you have a plan? Geoffrey, some of these things are so heavy, so big. We can't, maybe let me answer that later. Let me just continue in here. That is, we are at the classwork session. At the classwork session, we have Google Drive here. In this drive is where you put all the classroom stuff here. But student may not be able to get it outside the class. So it is very secure. But there's a way you can do still the same, but share with the student from away from the class. We will teach you all that. Some of the things, by dear, will be based on your needs. So in classwork section, you will have to create assignment and questions, use topics to organize classwork into modules or units, work, or order your work the way you want the students to see it. So here we can create assignment, quiz assignment, questions. You can even send material. You want to give them your PDF. Now, here is the place. Put the PDF here, guys. Put the PDF here, okay? Put your PDFs. You go like dump all your PDF inside here. But the best is now we'll teach you how to create a learning lesson, a content for learning. That is in our next session. But here we are talking about just if you are still at your level of just sending in quiz. For example, I want to send a quiz assignment. I'll be sending quiz assignment to you people shortly for my students who have just joined. Maybe I want to call it animal behavior. So in the animal behavior, instruction is optional. So what do I want to create? Do I want to create it from Google Forms? You see, again, I told you, when you're dealing with Google, you'll always be greeted by the same tools. Instead of using Microsoft Forms, now you're being given Google Forms. Because remember, you're in the Google platform. So you can add even a photo. You can add a link. You can add another file. You can add a YouTube, maybe a YouTube video about like animal behavior. Let me just, and you see you're doing everything within. So I don't need to go and open another place to look for it. So maybe this is, which one do I need? Let me pick this, animal behavior. Okay, that is what I want to pick. Let me pick, okay, sorry. Did I get it wrong? Animal behavior. I get that. Yes, that is what I want. Yes, and add. So I've added. So give us some of the qualities of animal behaviors based on that. So once you get that, YouTube probably, now let me give a quiz. And the quiz, remember, this is a Google form, the way it is. Normally, with the Google Forms, the way it is, it's just like this. So for example, question one. Question one would be, tell us, okay, which is a bad behavior. of animals. Sorry, I'm not getting I'm just imagining which level, and I'm imagining, let me pick the lowest level. Remember this multiple choice, so you can pick multiple choice, and you give option 1, probably sleeping, maybe then eating, maybe making sounds. So imagine this is the question we are having. It has only maybe 3 options. Maybe preying on others, okay? Right, so imagine this is the question. If I want this is the question I've just created, guys. If I want, maybe I just give it a name, animal quiz. I want this quiz. I want you to learn something, and I'm taking you very, very, sorry for the typos, very slowly so that we get this done. So if you want this to become a quiz, remember for now, it is just a form, a normal form. But if I want it to become a quiz that people can now be able to, students can feed, and then it marks automatically. For it to mark automatically, what I do, there is a gear here. I don't know whether you can see. Let me just zoom. I want to zoom. Allow me to zoom so that you see. There's a gear, this gear at the corner here, written settings. So with this gear, I change this to quizzes. So far, the thing is general. If I put it like this, it becomes a presentation. If I put it like this, it becomes a quiz. And now with the quiz, I want it to become a quiz. I want to put, it means it will have to give answers. The respondents will see the correct answers, the missed questions, and then we want to release immediately after each submission or later after the whole thing. Now, as a teacher, you know all this. So once I've selected a quiz and I want this to make it a quiz, it is never a quiz unless you come here to change. Or else the students will do everything and then you will start again marking. But as a teacher, you don't need to really mark. So start at multiple choice, bado mnataka kumark. What is your problem? You create the thing, give students, they will be able to do this, and the answers will come automatically. Now, let me assign, guys. So this is what we'll be using. So I click send. Once I'm done, it is a quiz. But I've not checked the correct answer. All right, now that let me just get again that and quiz. So make this and save. Now it is a quiz. Now you see this thing has come here. Answer key. And how many points do you want for the answer? So answer key, let me say D is the answer. So yes, that is the answer key. Or I click on it first and then I pick what I want. This is now going to be the answer. The points to be given, if a student answers, they'll get 5 points, okay? Like, or 5 or 1 point, depending on what you want. Done. Now it is a quiz. And then I want student to do it. It's required. No student will escape this. So once I'm done with the quiz, so let me now come. There's a quiz. So then do we, if at all we are sending, we don't want to send. I think we are done with the quiz. Now the best is now probably to go back. Let me just zoom out so that we go back. Remember, it was just a quiz. So, okay, maybe if we click assign, because we want to really, and then you can make a copy. You can add collaborators. You can do anything with it, whenever what you want to do with it. So let me just click send so that we find out whether we are done with it. Yeah, so we can do via email, or you just let us get the link. It's better, or we embed. If you embed it, you'll now put it in any place. But let me get the link and copy this link. Okay, we can shorten it because it is too long. I copy it. So once I've copied to the board, now I can go back to my Google Classroom. Why can't I really? It is here. Because it opened in a different window, guys. So it is here. So don't really. So here I can now come and now probably add a link and put that link there. The reason why we are putting it as a link is because so that you don't do the same thing, all of you. Because if it is one document, then we'll have all of you doing the same document. Probably, okay, another thing I can be doing here again, I've not yet assigned and nobody will be able to see this unless it is assigned. Another thing I think I can be able to do, I didn't use the video, but I'm just showing you how to use the video. Let me add probably a file, and maybe, which file do I need surely here? Probably, can I pick a file? No, I don't need even that. So let me create. If I create docs, because we add a file, now let me create a document here. And this one now, I got it. So with the document, student can view, make a copy for each student. If I want all of you to type on this, I can make it so that all of you can type. But if I make a copy for each, so first the student can view, can edit, file, all of you will be able to write the same thing on the same thing. That's the element of collaboration. I can want all of you just to write on this same document. Then all of you, all my students will be typing on the same. But if I want to make a copy for each one, and then it will be very easy for you to get it, okay? And I've not really, where is the document? Yeah, so let me just type something. Mention some behaviors. Okay, of animals. So that is like that. So you will be able to answer that as a student. So I save and probably share like that. So let me just save. Okay. Probably now again. So we can see you can edit. Then the create is there. Go back to the class. I think it's just there. Let me just assign. Probably. Let me just click assign and see. Now I'm assigning to all the students. So finally, we have assigned the whole thing. Assignment has been created. Now, students in the classroom, wherever you are, can you access the assignment and do it and submit? I'm waiting. I'm waiting to see you people doing this assignment. The assignment which we have is called animal behavior. Kindly try. I'm waiting. Students, can you do your work very fast? Meanwhile, let me go through the questions for those people who wanted me to do the questions. Let me go through the questions and answer them. Oh, somebody wants to Zoom, no problem. Asha, we will work on that, don't worry. A friend is concerned and says, Geoffrey from Kamonjoni Kabete, do you have any plan to incorporate all public basic learning institutions for Generation Z to benefit? We are already working with this. We are talking to you guys. And in this platform, remember, we also have members from Ministry of Education. They are with us in the platform. We have members from Teacher Service Commission. They are aware of what is taking place now, and they are part of this. They are inside this platform. We're just testing. If this one works very good, definitely there's a lot of scalability. We know people will now want to get interest in working and having more people benefit. We are just doing this because of the request, and again, in consultation with Teacher Service Commission and Ministry of Education. They are all part of this. Another very important team, which is also here, is we are calling them the ICT champions. And the ICT champions, these are the people who have really worked so hard to ensure that the use of technology is realized and the benefits of the use of technologies is realized in the classroom. And I know if you can know people in this space, and especially like we have a lady and a lady like Wakahio, who is the Director of National Integration, ICT and Integration Center. These are people who have really been leading us. Purity from the Kise, they are all with us here. These are people who are very passionate about having technology done. So definitely the ministry is interested, everybody is interested. I think the level of starting is where you are missing out. And again, you know, there are people who would wish you start something, then they can come in to give more support. But I think it is something good for our country, for our children, and we are always available. We are going to help. Somebody says, my account does not have Teams, my Microsoft account. Teams, you don't need to have. Teams is now free. You don't even need to have an account with Microsoft for you to have it. Just download it and have it. It's free of charge. You can get it free. I guess that the assignment is accessed via the mail. No, it's not. It's not via the mail. You don't need to go through the mail to get the assignment, Christine. Just in the classroom, as a student, if you are a student, you'll get to the classwork here and you'll get assignment and start doing. And I think, let me see if at all people have submitted. Because I was just trying out something. Can somebody tell me whether, is there any submitted work? Because once you do, you have to submit. If you submit, I'll be able to see. Okay, people, the teachers, let me see who are in the classroom. I can see these are the teachers. Oh, no wonder you can't get to see, because you are all teachers. You are all teachers, you can't get to see the assignment. The assignment is for the students. But apparently, yeah, you are students. You joined in as students, not teachers. Okay, let us see you. My students are so many here. Okay. So it is just like that. Let me just hope I want to deal with the last thing, and then probably we get you again working. Oh, in the grades. Okay. When I go to grade, I can see how many people due date. Whoa, I have 100. Oh, students have submitted, or what am I seeing? Let me just get to see. What did 4R do? Because I'm being given to grade. Let us see the work of assigned. Oh, you have been assigned. Agnes, you have not done this work. Can you do the work and submit? I'm waiting. Huyu mwanafunzi anaingia class na afanye assignment. Christine, let me see what Christine is doing. Let me just zoom out. It's too big. These are my students. I've given them work. Christine, you are not in. You are not turning in. Or did you get the questions by yourself? I hope it will be. Or if probably I didn't assign it well. Christine. Christine, I can't see. What work have you done? Christine has not done anything. Okay, guys, let me mark. Let me show you how to mark. Maybe we are still engaging. One thing I've always loved is I want you always to join us, students, so that you see the kind of difficulty students have when you assign them work. Maybe you didn't assign them well. Probably the way I've not assigned you so well. Isaac, what kind of help are you talking about? I can be able to assist. Isaac. Because Christine, you have not done your work. Now let me see another student. Because I had given you this document. Go to the document. Don't worry about the quiz. That one will mark automatically for you. So that is for Christine. Let me go back. The next student is Ambuka. Ambuka mentioned 5. Good. Ambuka has done. Ambuka has these are the answers. from Ambuka, feed, breathe, react, die. Good. So how many marks should I give Ambuka? Guys, I want you to be with me because I want to mark so that we are all together. Let me go back to the classroom and you see how you mark for the essays, because the quiz with multiple choice, we had put that one is marking itself. But this one without multiple choice is what I want us to mark. Kindly, can I mark now? We say we have two sections. Stream is for communication. If you have a problem, just Isaac, tell me the problem, because we are now moved, we have all moved to Google Classroom. What is your problem? Join class. You join class. When you're joining class, Isaac, you join class and you give the code which we have just given you in the chat session. Okay. Now look, guys, and join as a student. Let me mark this so that you see how to mark things online. Because again, another thing is you want to print and then start marking and then sending back. So I want to show you how do you mark assignment. Let me hope that my students have done the assignment. Keep struggling. I know you're not having it easy. Some of these things, Edward said this one takes almost 6 months for you to get it. But as we are moving on a crash program, and we are trying as much as possible so that we let you do the work. Edward, you wanted to say something. We have like 10 minutes, and I really wanted to use those minutes to show you how to mark. Okay. Have a look at this. Stream is where you get all the communication in your classroom. Classwork is where you give assignment, you share with them the notes, you share with them classwork, you do everything here. Videos, you want them to learn everything. This is where your lessons will go to. This is where your assignment and quizzes will be hosted here. As a teacher, you'll be working, you'll be creating them from this level. Students will also be coming to get them here, or they get a notification telling them assignment has been given. So they click on that notification and they get to the class work. So you don't need to worry. I'm looking at it as a teacher. People, this one will tell you how many teachers are in my classroom and how many students do I have in my classroom. You can see the list of the students, so that if there's a student who has not been able to report, you can follow up. Unamuuliza shida iko wapi? Una shida gani? Network imewasumbua? Mbona sijakuona class? You've not been attending my classes. You can see them from here. Grades. This is where you now do all the marking. And that's where I wanted to go there and start marking this work of the students here. So the work was animal behavior. And the students who have been assigned are all these. And let me just zoom out so that we'll be able to see. Somehow, students have been able to, so you can see from here, you can see those ones which have numbers. These are the students who have probably turned in the assignment. Others have not yet turned in. So these ones are waiting for me to mark. So how do I do it? I have two options. Option one is to click on the student and go to their work. Or like now for Anita Rotich, I just click on Anita, or even if the 3 dot, I can now view submission. I can view Anita's work, or even if I click on Anita, or let me click view submission, and I'm able to see what Anita has been doing, and I can see the work of Anita here. Look, Anita has given me the work. Mention some behaviors of animal. Eat, sleep, pray. Good. You see, Anita has given me some work. So what can I do? I want you to look online. There's a tool for even ticking, so you can tick all of them. You just integrate that tool, and then you just click and you tick, and you put an X where you don't need. Another better option is you can even give feedback. For example, you can give feedback. Maybe if she did it, like for now, you see, Anita didn't start with a capital letter when they're starting the sentence. What do? I give her a feedback, and the feedback comes in form of either a comment. So I can just click on this, and let me bring this a bit closer for Anita to see. Anita, you see this thing, comment, so that you comment on that, okay? You can either comment suggesting, so you can click editing, or we are now in editing mode. There's a viewing mode and suggesting, probably like that. You can do any other thing. There are even more things here you can be able to use if you want to edit that. But I'm imagining the best is basically you can even do like this, and then you color using maybe that color, and then probably, I don't know, there's a tool here for commenting. Now you can even comment here and you say, hey Anita, remember to start with capital letter. Great work. Great work. So at least that feedback is important. Once you feel the feedback is okay, you click accepted. So you see the comment of a teacher, and you can comment. Oh, sorry, did I really? And then you comment, okay, great work. You have all this, you'll always find this comment somewhere down there so that you comment on Anita's work. So the comment will always be there. So Anita may be able, on the other side, to be able to see that I've already added several comments, and I can see so much about that. So don't worry about this. I'm just trying to show you. You can comment. Or you can have so many comments. You can put all your comments, very good, the bank, so that you just pick one and use it. Pick one and use it as you mark and all that. Then this comment may not reach Anita until I click return. If you see at the corner there, there is return. Okay, so let me just close this part so that you see there's return. That return means now I'm giving Anita my feedback. Otherwise, but now surely I've not even given Anita the marks. So it means let me go to grading. This Anita, let me grade her here. I'm going to grade. I'm giving her now that it's done so well. At least I should have done. Let me give her 80%, and then give her a private. Now this private comment will just go to Anita. Good work, Anita. Okay, and then Anita. Okay, like that. Then I click post. Anita will get that as a student. They will get, but now not returned. You see, it's red. Anita will not get it until I click return. So I click return, and this is now she will be notified that I've marked the grade. Okay, so I'm returning. So once I click return, now Anita will get the grade. Now Anita will get communication. I can use these arrows either to look for other students. You see, you don't need to go back and start afresh. You just click next, and you have these students. This student has also done a good job. Let me give him mark 50, and then let me click return. I return for Michael. Michael, I've given you only 50. Don't worry. Another student, I just click, and another student comes. You see, now marking as a teacher has become so easy. This one, hii ndio kazi huyu mtoto amefanya. Ameandika tu 3 na nilikuwa nataka 7. Huyu Val nimpatie ngapi? Acha nimpatie 70. Great, Val, and I can even give a comment. I return, and then you see now the next student. So I can mark, and before long I'm done with my students. And I can not only use marking direct, but I can even use a rubric. So those teachers who are using rubrics, we are going to teach you how. Huyu hata Isa kajaandika kitu, huyu mwanafunzi apewe 0. Okay, complete work. Okay, Isaac, complete the work. So in fact, it's always good to give them the due date, as you can set due date and all that. Guys, I know you must be having personal challenges here and there, and that's why we are here to support you. Okay, so I think Okay, let me just discard many of the things. So who else who are Omweri turned in or turned in? You can always see if Omweri turned in. It turned in, but it turned an empty what? So what do you give Omweri? Maybe 0, 2, 1, or maybe 0 or 1. Okay, 0. But of course, I don't recommend you giving students 0. It really discourages them. Instead of giving 0, you would just basically don't grade it. Just don't grade it, but give them a private comment. It is important. Christine Ratemo never turned in. So if you're having problems, no, those are the same problems students are going to have. Martin Mwegi turned in. Good, Martin, did 4. Let us grade Martin 80%. Okay, I think time is up, guys, and it has been lovely teaching you guys. I think you have also enjoyed learning how to grade. Then when you go back to your class, of course, when you look at the grade, you can always see the student's grade. Hata unaona tu yote kwa hii assignment. You can find so many your assignments put here. Assignment ya kwanza about animal behavior out of 100. Class average was 46. Huyu hakufanya. Anita got 80. This one we have not turned in. Beryl has done, but we have not turned in for Beryl. We have not marked. We only marked Matthew 60 and like that. So you see, you can always see what is happening in your class as a teacher. You're able to see all that. Then I think this is awesome. Maybe next time we'll be helping how to use rubrics, because rubrics is one thing that people are not using. We'll teach you how to create a rubric and how to use it. In case there's any question, guys, let me have the question, but I think I'm happy that we have been able to do some amazing work together. So we were talking about Google Classroom, and therefore we've talked so much. The next one will be Class Dojo. But before we get to Class Dojo, I think I want to start engaging you guys, those people who had said they want to try their hands on Moodle. We want to engage you so that you start creating content in Moodle, that we continue with this learning and then we get that. Okay, about Akon. Somebody was asking about Akon. I mean, somebody was asking about reaching out to the other students in the public. We are even here. I want to mention that we have a team from Akon. Akon, they deal with students with special needs, very dyslexic students, those who are seriously having serious learning needs, like dyslexic students, and maybe Down syndrome and stuff like that. They are also, Isaac is here representing them. And he says, if at all you need some questions from them, kindly, I've published the number there, so you can always get them there. And you are free to talk and work with the team. Edward, could you, Edward has left because he's getting into another meeting. I think, thank you guys. I'll be calling you guys or writing to you so that we start engaging on Moodle, so that we start getting this. But at least I'm happy today you managed to see a lot. We are going to do next is about Class Dojo. If you don't need, if you can get to start by yourself, try it. I'm still appealing more teachers to come on board so that we start creating some of the content for our learners. First, think of your subject and the topic, pick one topic, start creating topics around that. You can reach me in that email. In terms of the next, when you're talking about synchronous classroom, we are going to talk about Google Meet, or what we are talking about here will be more focusing on how to create a live session face-to-face with students. So we'll be talking about Google Meet. We are going to talk about Skype in the classroom. We are going to teach you about Zoom, and we are going to teach you about Adobe, Adobe Connect, Blue Jeans, all these tools for having live session. So you see, these are just some of the things we prepared for you, and how do you use Google Meet in the classroom for live meaning live means synchronous session. We've been talking about asynchronous, where you're just leaving content. Maybe students are online or they are not online. You may not be lucky to have your students online the way I have you online, but now that is asynchronous. But synchronous, you tell them, can we meet at this particular day? And all of them, they come online and you are seeing them face to face. That is when you need Google Meet, you need Skype, you need Teams like this, you need either Adobe Connect, you need Blue Jeans, you need maybe Zoom, although Zoom and which other tool? I was hearing Zoom, and there's another tool that they are not recommending. They are saying no because of the security details. They don't want students to be details to be picked by the hackers. So because of the security challenges, Zoom, we are discouraging people to use Zoom for teaching until Zoom rectifies their condition. Kindly, Zoom has already been flagged, and we are not using it in the classroom. It can be used in the workplace, but in the classroom, no Zoom, as much as you think Zoom is a thing, because that's what you people have been told. The reason why Zoom is having a problem is just a challenge, which is not permanent. They will rectify it, and then if they rectify it, they will bring them on board. There's even tools like Facebook Workplace. I know nobody has used Facebook Workplace. It also allows for face-to-face meeting with your student like this, and we will take you through that. That's our next session. It's synchronous virtual learning. That is how to prepare asynchronous virtual learning, and we'll take you through things like Google Meet, what do you need to do, what about a plan, and stuff like that as we are moving forward. If you have an area you need us to work on, kindly let us. Atiki says, today's session was wow. Today's session was wow, Atiki. Kama umepata marks zako, sasa umefurahi because it has been marked. Let me continue marking the questions and then share the marks. But otherwise, you are now free to leave and do other things. And thank you so much for joining us again. And we love being with you, and we always be here to support your space. Thank you. May God bless you. Let me just continue to mark, and it will be on for quite some time. So if you have any question, just keep chatting. I'm here. I'm not running away. Meanwhile, let me continue marking. Where were we? Where was the marks for the student? Let me continue grading my student, because there are students who have not yet received their Benjamin has let me continue grading maybe from Benjamin. Let me see what Benjamin has done. Okay, let me even use this tool and continue so that I get everybody. There are those who have turned in, there are those who have not turned in. So this is a very good, you can know which students have turned in. If Christine, for example, you see Christine is really having a lot of problems, I need to reach out to Christine and find out, hey, Christine, what is the problem? What can I do? Because you have not been able to do the assignment. Are you having a problem with the connection? Is it that you are not getting it? You don't need to get to another link. We are not going to email this. When you are in Google, once you get to Google Classroom, you only get the notification. If the teacher has given assignment, you will see a notification popping up, and that is what you click. Christine. Now, Christine was not able to turn in. Makuha has turned in and is doing a very good job here. So what do I do with Makuha? I give him 95%, and probably even I can add a comment to Makuha, and then they will get. Let me return that. Then let me get another student. That one, Beryl has not managed. I don't know, Beryl, were you having a problem? Can I know if at all you have a problem? Beryl has not turned in. Beryl, turn in. When you turn in is when I can mark. If you don't turn in, a teacher may not be able to mark. Look at those challenges, Beryl. Can you work on that? There's that aspect of turning in, Beryl. If you don't turn in, I cannot mark, because it is now showing you have not turned in. You're just assigned, you have not turned in. You can see the students who have turned in the work. It's Baruch, Benjamin. You see, these are the students who have turned in. Others have done. The others have not turned in. So maybe you have worked, you've done it, but you've not turned in. So kindly work on that so that at least you are able to get. You see, Rosa Ayeko has done it, but have not turned in. Wow. Now, that's something we are looking at. Those are things you need to know. Who is this? Jeru. Jeru was not able to do the work. Another student here. Kenneth Kabugi. Kenneth has not done the work. Oh, those are the challenges. Ask yourself if you're having. Kenneth has done the work, but has not turned in. So ensure you turn it. If you don't turn in, I'm not able to mark your work. But I can send you a link and say, hey, Kenneth, can you kindly do turn in the work? Because you're not turning in the work. If you turn in the work, then I'm able to mark. Maxwell is here. It's work, but not turned in. Hey, Maxwell, turn in your work. Okay. Okay. Pendo K. Not turned in. So let me go to those ones who have turned in, like Muitabu, because they have turned in. If you don't turn in, they work. And this one has turned in an empty work. So they didn't do much, but at least you've managed to know how to turn in. Let me give you 10% with Wanatumu. But you have to do something and then you turn in. You don't just turn in an empty work. How will it feel when you are a teacher and okay. I have questions here. Okay, then we have Benjamin Mutai. Let me grade you. Benjamin, you've done so well, and you've done it so beautiful. So let me just give you 100%, all the way from Baringo, Benjamin. Here, I have to really. You have done a good job. I can give you a lot of work there, Benjamin. Let me see another students who have turned in. That one has already been marked. So that is how it is, guys. I'm so happy we've done something. We've even been able to mark, and marking is important. Anita, you also did something. Okay, you are still online, Anita. But we will be able to see that these tools. So as a student, what are you able to see and all that? I think we have learned a lot. Thank you, guys. May God bless you for the evening. Although there are questions here, I want to answer. Michael says, thank you for the lesson. How have you made the background of your video black, yet you still are clear? Who is this? You are anonymous. I wish I knew. When is the next class? The next class, oh yeah, that's a part of the question. When is the next class? I think we can do one now. I don't know whether Monday or Wednesday. We'd really wish to do 3 so that we have a Monday, a Wednesday, and a Friday. Or maybe only Wednesday and Friday. Let us just stick to Wednesday and Friday. But I'll consult with Edward. If there's any change, we'll get it from your side. Good work. Thank you so much. Thank you for supporting us. Thank you for accepting to be part of this. And thank you for trying out all these things we are doing. You are always blessed, and we're always here to help you guys get this thing done.